Have you ever wondered if your opinions are correct? Well, the best way to find out if you have the right opinion on something is to check out what Sneako's opinion is on that same topic. And if you have the opposite opinion of Sneako, 9 times out of 10, your opinion is probably correct. I made a video about Sneako a couple years ago, but if you've never heard of Sneako, just know that he's most well known for being a partaker of cuckoldry, a flirter of minors, and an enjoyer of the movie Cuties. Sneako has been banned from most social media platforms, so these days he spends most of his time on Rumble, ranting and raving about whatever stupid shit he's thinking about on any given day. And his most recent stupid shit is him defending the streamer Dr. Disrespect for having inappropriate conversations with a minor when he was 35, and him attacking the streamer Sketch for doing gay OnlyFans in the past. In Sneako's mind, doing gay stuff is absolutely unacceptable, but doing inappropriate things with minors is totally fine as long as they've gone through puberty. We'll get into Sneako's brilliant opinions about the age of consent later on, but just know that there's a video of Sneako and the streamer Zerka flirting with minors where when they tell them that they are underaged, Sneako asks, "How underaged?"
Actually, we would make a great double date. I like you on the left, and I think Zerka likes the girl on the right.
They're both on the left. What up, girls? I want to kiss you guys.
How old are you?
What the
Oh,
fuck?
I got that white bitch smiling. Let's go.
Stop. How old are you guys?
Underage. Well,
Oh.
you just yeah.
Like
Hold on.
how underage though? Like your birthday's next week type shit?
Like, we can't go to Starbucks, white bitch?
And I will be turning 15 in a month.
Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
Zerka has also recently been banned from Kick for allegedly doing inappropriate things with a minor, so you can see that Sneako has a great taste in who he chooses to be friends with. Anyway, first let's talk about the Dr. Disrespect situation and Sneako's response to the situation. A little while ago, an ex-Twitch employee exposed Dr. Disrespect for having inappropriate conversations with a minor over Twitch when he was 35. And this is not just speculation, because on Twitter, Dr. Disrespect admitted that he did have inappropriate conversations with a minor. And how did Sneako respond to this?
Western culture is hilarious. If someone texts a 17-year-old girl and 11 months old in 364 days and 23 hours and 59 minutes and 59 seconds, then you are texting her. The whole industry is going to jump you. Dr. Disgusting, says Valkyrie. Yuck, says Pokimane. Everyone hates you, but as soon as that second hits midnight, then she can sign up on OnlyFans, sell her body, and then everyone's gonna parade around and say, "You go, queen! You're an independent girl boss, slay! Clown world."
So, in order to downplay how bad it was that a 35-year-old had inappropriate conversations with a minor, Sneako brings up the fact that 18-year-olds do OnlyFans? This is a classic example of whataboutism, bringing up a completely unrelated topic that has absolutely nothing to do with the discussion at hand. I agree with Sneako that in society there's too much pressure for young girls who have just turned 18 to do OnlyFans, but that is not a justification for 35-year-olds to flirt with girls who are under 18. We should be doing more to protect young women from being pressured into doing sex work, and we should be doing more to protect young women from being preyed on by creepy weirdos. These two ideas are not mutually exclusive, and it's obviously insane to use this as a justification to flirt with minors.
I don't know everything about Dr. Disrespect, but let's break it down. Pokimane pretty much does softcore porn for 14-year-old boys.
No, she doesn't.
Her audience is 95% men who are jerking off the entire stream. Pokey, I want to poke you, Pokey. This other girl, Valkyrie, I don't know who that is, but it's probably the same thing. Let's be real. They run Twitch because they are turning people into simps. And simping is them, here's another 3,000 gifted, ding, ding,
So, I kind of agree that Pokimane simps are cringe, but just because Pokimane has a lot of weird dudes that follow her, that doesn't mean that her content is inherently inappropriate. Both Pokimane and Valkyrie make incredibly tame content. The only reason that Sneako thinks they make softcore porn is because anytime he looks at a woman, all he can think about is sex. I think there's more of a nuanced conversation to be had around streamers like Amaranth and how maybe Twitch should be doing more more to keep her content away from minors, but this is just another example of whataboutism. Amaranth doing Twitch streams in skimpy clothing doesn't make it okay for Dr. Disrespect to have inappropriate conversations with minors, obviously.
Why does that define the age of consent? I had a debate about this, and I said the age of consent is maturity, is the age of puberty, once the body is mature. Because, bro, I know some people, I went through puberty when I was like 17. And then you're 15, 16, like, why am I still short? Any Asians can relate. I didn't go through puberty for a long time. That's why the age of consent being strictly, exactly, on this second, 18, this defines maturity. And everyone has to pretend like, yes, that defines maturity. This is the correct age, not 1 second more, not 1 second less. And if anything contradicts it, you're disgusting.
Sneako thinks that the age of consent should be puberty, and most girls finish puberty around age 14 or 15. So that means that Sneako thinks it's okay for 35-year-olds to sleep with 14-year-olds. I don't think I even need to explain why this is insane. Just because you think that a 14-year-old's body has matured enough that you want to sleep with them, that does not make it okay. Because people don't consent with their bodies, they consent with their brains. And 14-year-olds' brains aren't mature enough to give informed consent. Creepy dudes like Sneako love to make this argument where they're like, oh, the day before they turn 18, they're an immature child, but the second they turn 18, they're suddenly a fully mature adult? That doesn't make any sense. Sometimes, with both legality and morality, you have to draw arbitrary lines in the sand in order to keep people safe. Driving 5 miles over the speed limit might not always be dangerous, but in general, it is dangerous, which is why we have speed limits. It might not always be dangerous to drive without a seatbelt, but in general, it is dangerous, which is why we have seatbelt laws. It's not always dangerous for people under the age of 21 to drink alcohol, but in general, it is dangerous, which is why we have underage alcohol laws. And yes, there might be some 17-year-olds who are as mentally mature as some 18-year-olds, but in general, they aren't, which is why we have age of consent laws. Everything I'm saying here is just basic common sense, but for Sneako, common sense is very uncommon. For Sneako, common sense is like an ultra rare first edition Charizard card that he'll never be able to get his hands on. And yes, Sneako, that was a nerdy reference because I'm a fat nerd. If you're watching this, don't forget to insult me for being a fat nerd. That'll really get to me, Sneako. Love you, buddy. We don't know what the age of this minor was exactly, but even if this minor was 17, 35 and 17 is obviously not acceptable, and Sneako is obviously a dumbass. And your stupid whataboutism arguments about Pokimane obviously have nothing to do with anything. You just know that a lot of the dudes in your audience have a hate boner for Pokimane, and that the dudes who watch you hate women more than they hate child predators. So now that we've seen how Sneako reacts to people being exposed as child predators, let's see how he responds to people being exposed for doing gay stuff in the past.
You know, just the craziest thing about Sketch is I'm seeing everyone's like, Sketch is one of the most genuine dudes ever. He's genuinely, I don't know what's the new Twitch word. He's genuinely one of the most genuine guys ever. No, he's not. He lied to you about his life.
If you haven't heard about the situation, a little bit ago, the live streamer Sketch got exposed because he made gay OnlyFans content in the past.
I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding. I did. Possibly. Cat's out of the bag.
And he felt the need to apologize for this because a lot of people in his audience don't approve of it. And I think he's also become a Christian recently, so he really regrets this part of his past. Obviously, I don't think there's anything to apologize for if you made gay OnlyFans content in the past, like, who really cares? But if Sketch feels like it goes against his current religious beliefs and he feels like he wants to apologize for it, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. Mostly, I just feel sad that he feels the need to apologize because there's so much social pressure being put on him to apologize for something that I don't even really think is wrong.
You're acting like it was like a long 2 years ago. He was taking it up the ass and getting paid for it on OnlyFans. One of those genuine guys. Then he would have been straight up about his life. What a crazy thing to keep secret.
So, Sneako thinks that Sketch is not a genuine guy because he didn't tell his audience that he used to make gay OnlyFans content. Like, you really think that if someone doesn't divulge their entire past to their audience and open up about every single thing they feel ashamed about, that they can't possibly be genuine? This is obviously an insane standard to place on someone. But if Sneako wants to place this expectation onto people, then he should probably open up to his audience about his own history of doing nude modeling. Obviously, I'm not gonna fully show the photo, but in the past, Sneako did a nude photo shoot where he was touching his meat, which had a little bit of a hard on. And maybe Sneako thinks that this photo shoot was 100% straight, but I promise you it's not only women who enjoy looking at pictures of dudes touching their meat. And even if in Sneako's mind this photo shoot was 100% straight, I'm pretty sure doing nude modeling still goes against his current Muslim beliefs. So Sneako, why haven't you talked to your audience about your history of nude modeling? By the standard that you're placing on Sketch, you should be talking about this to your audience, otherwise you're a hypocrite. But at this point, we all know that Sneako's a hypocrite. That's kind of like his most defining trait. Sneako has also made videos in the past where he has admitted to being bisexual.
Have you ever looked at a person of the same sex and felt attracted in a sexual way? I'm gonna say, chat, we're being honest. It's happened, right? It's like no one's gonna be 100% straight. It's like a spectrum.
So, Sneako, if you want to be morally consistent, please do a stream where you admit to your alt-right audience that you are a bisexual man who used to do nude photo shoots touching your meat. I think that would be very funny to watch.
5 years ago, I talked about like regrettably going to a swinger party and made jokes about it. To this day, they still bring it up. They're like, "Fuck, Sneako." And then Sketch gets exposed for like being a gay OnlyFans porn star. It's in the past. Let it go. You're a hero. You're so brave.
The reason why people say to let it go when it comes to Sketch's past, but they keep bringing up your past, is because Sketch is not someone who goes out and morally judges people constantly, but you are someone who constantly judges other people, so people are obviously going to bring up the things that you have done that directly contradict the things that you judge other people for doing. If Sketch was going around shaming people for being gay, then yeah, maybe people would bring up his past more, but he's not doing that because he's not an annoying weirdo like you.
Hero? I saw all these people who have never said a word about Palestine since October 7th, bombed every day. Innocent children, and we see it all over the timeline. They all see it. They're on the same Twitter app that we're all on. They see the kids getting bombed every single day. They don't say a word. Sketch takes it up the ass, and everyone says, "You're the best person ever."
Obviously, everyone should be speaking up about Palestine. Israel needs to stop massacring innocent Palestinian children immediately. Check out Creators for Palestine if you want to help the people of Gaza. But this is just another classic example of whataboutism, pivoting to a completely unrelated topic to justify your own bigotry. And I fully believe that Sneako is only talking about Palestine because he is currently trying to pander to Muslims. It's not like he has some moral objection to people being slaughtered, otherwise he wouldn't be best friends with the Holocaust-denying Nazi Nick Fuentes.
And they're acting like as if there's all this negativity. Nobody said anything negative. Is there any influencer that's like, they're all like, "You're the best friend ever." How are you guys friends? What, you did a collab once and bought him a car for content? You hung out and did a freestyle rap? You collabed? You're best friends now? You don't even know what his sexual orientation is, and he's your best friend ever? If my friend was doing that, I'm sorry, we're not friends anymore, because you are clearly capable of holding in secrets that I have no idea. I don't even know who you are.
So, according to Sneako, even if someone regrets the gay stuff that they did in the past and they've apologized for it, you still shouldn't be friends with them because if they were truly honest, they would have told you about it. By that logic, Sneako, you should not be friends with yourself, dumbass, because you are currently hiding from your audience your past of being a bisexual man who does nude modeling touching his meat.
Little things like this genuinely could save somebody's life. Like, seriously? So, W Banks, seriously,
My friend is a gay porn star.
The reason that Jinxie is crying in this clip is because he found out that Sketch was considering committing suicide when all of this came out about him. Jinxie isn't crying because his friend did gay porn, he's crying because he found out that he almost lost one of his best friends, and you're sitting here laughing like an absolute freak. We should be encouraging this sort of vulnerability around suicide because we should be showing society that men's mental health matters. This is something that people on all sides of the political spectrum should be able to agree on. But Sneako would rather you kill yourself than open up and be vulnerable about your feelings as a man because he has stunted baby brain. Anyway, Sneako is an absolute degenerate freak who thinks it's okay for 35-year-olds to sleep with children and who thinks you should cut out anyone from your life if they've ever done anything gay, even though he himself has a history of doing gay shit. Thankfully, he has nowhere near the amount of influence he had a couple years ago because he's stuck on Rumble, but I feel like his defenses of pedophilia are pushing the boundaries of what should even be allowed on Rumble, but whatever. Thankfully, he's mostly irrelevant. I just thought it would be fun to do another quick dunk on this idiot. I think it's really cool to see that most of the internet has come to the defense of Sketch. He seems like a pretty funny, down-to-earth guy. I am fully aware that my content doesn't always appeal that much to like your average dude. So I think it's cool to see dudes like Sketch and Jinxie and Queso becoming popular because they seem much more normal and down to earth than the absolute freaks like Sneako and Aiden Ross who were popular a couple years ago. It's really cool seeing a lot of teenage boys moving away from the stupidity of the red pill movement, and hopefully through this situation with Sketch, it'll help a lot of them to realize that gay people are just people. I promise you that if you're a young dude, you are going to be much happier in the long run if you choose to be fans of people like Sketch, Jinxie, and Queso than you are going to be if you choose to be a fan of morons like Sneako. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.